Hello people on it, it is I, a nerd named BT, once again behind a microphone. Rush Duel has had a good history so far with legendary, spells, traps, and monsters. All of which, some powerful, some not. And today, we'll be talking about some. Now let's see the top 5 worst legend trap cards. Number 5. Turn to Tribute is a normal legend trap card with the effect of when you or your opponent normals or special summons a monster, destroy all monsters on the field. Now, if most of you guys have followed up on the Rush Duel meta, you can understand that this card is extremely powerful and has been played quite a lot in the meta, though is not the top legend card being currently played. It does have a very powerful effect of wiping away your opponent's entire board, but at also a cost of potentially wiping away yours as well. And if any monster happens to have trap protection, then this card is effectively useless. But it does stand at number 5 because it can still wipe away your opponent's entire board at almost any phase of the game. Number 4. Magic Cylinder is a normal legendary trap card with the effect when your opponent's monster declares an attack, negate the attack, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the monster's attack. This is the only legend trap card that currently does not destroy any cards in the game, which is a positive for all the cards that can't be destroyed by trap cards but can still be affected. But it still makes its way onto the worst of list because it cannot clear any cards on your opponent's side of the field. Rather, it can go -1 just for dealing an amount of damage, even though it can negate an attack, which places it on number 4 in this list. Number 3. Sakuretsu Armor is a normal legend trap card, with the effect, when your opponent's monster declares an attack, destroy the attacking monster. Unlike some of the other legendary trap cards which destroy a large amount of monsters, this is a selective version of it, where you can only destroy one monster. It is also the only legendary trap card currently in the game that has a support card from Sakuretsu Force. It is a very simple card that can only go 1-1, but since it does have support, it makes it a little bit more bearable than most of the other worst trap cards, but the effect alone isn't enough to allow it to be as strong and powerful as the rest of them. Number 2. Trap Hole is a normal legend trap card. With the effect, when your opponent normal summons a monster with 1000 or more attack, destroy that monster. This was the first legendary trap card ever to be added to Rush Duel, and one of the few main phase 1 interruption trap cards. It is still a very powerful trap card, with majority of Rush Duel decks still dependent on normal summons. But with the current meta, special summon has become a lot more common, and this trap card isn't enough when there's already much more powerful trap cards compared to Trap Hole at 3. But because it is main phase interruption, it does not take the top slot as the worst trap card. Now for an honorable mention. Mirror Force is a normal legend trap card. With the effect, when an opponent's monster declares an attack, destroy all attack position monsters your opponent controls. Though this is not as weak as the others, it still has its flaws and also still has its strengths. Being able to freely destroy all attack position monsters can be seen as very powerful. But at the downside, defense position monsters, monsters with trap protection, are unaffected. And since it can only be activated during the battle phase when your opponent's monster declares an attack, that means it can be easily removed during the main phase 1. But since it does offer the most value, it does not make it on the top 5 list for worst legend trap cards. Number 1. Widespread Ruin is the most recent legendary trap card added to Rush Duel at this current date. It's a normal legend trap card with the effect, when your opponent's monster declares an attack, destroy one attack position monster with the highest attack on your opponent's field. This is a very less select version of Sakuretsu Armor, with the downside of only destroying one attack position monster with the highest attack. Typically, the highest attack monsters are usually trap protected, meaning that unless they're not protected, this card is unable to do anything. There's no current announcement for any support, but it does currently have 2 artworks, which is double the amount of every other legend trap currently in the game with only one artwork for themselves. But because of the weakness of this card, of its requirements and its restrictions, I will be placing this as the worst trap card currently in Rush Duel. Well, everyone, I hope you all enjoyed that top 5 worst legendary rush traps currently in Rush Duels. If you wish to see more things like this, leave it in the comments down below, leave a like on the video, or just simply view it, and I'll consider it. This video was mostly made as a joke, but if you wish to see something like this with the top 5 best Rush Duel traps, I will consider it.